You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
Welcome to the smartest guys in marketing. We're back. So soon.
Oh, that was the intro?
Yeah.
That was kind of a big letdown.
Dude, no, you're fine. You're fine.
First episode. I'm sorry, you guys.
Let me just do the intros from now on. I'm glad you guys are here. If you haven't already turned this podcast off, let's just dive right in.
They probably already left a negative review on iTunes. They say their podcast is the smartest guys in marketing. But
well, we don't really necessarily mean that every other podcast is a scam,
but most of them
are. Because let me tell you, most of the other people they're starting podcasts just to grow their business and clients and stuff. And we're starting this podcast to grow our business and get clients, but we don't. But it's totally different. You know what I mean?
Completely different, yeah.
I'm screwing this up. Scam number one, we're going to talk about. If you didn't listen to the welcome episode, go back and listen to that, because that's where Chris and I kind of break down what we're going to be doing. We're basically going to take you through some of the biggest scams we see in marketing that you think are growing your business, but they're actually holding you back, because you got all these people who are fake gurus. They take some course and they become experts, and they're not real experts, and they're just mucking everything up. And so the first big scam that we see, and we talk to so many people every day, is the Ascension Model.
Yeah, this is huge, because especially being in the info product space for a long time, so literally thousands of people think that they need an Ascension Model. And there couldn't be anything further from the truth.
Yeah.
If you are building out an Ascension Model in your business right now, not that it's the absolute worst thing that you could do, but it is going to be the longest road to getting to the revenue that you want. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say, if you're under 6 million in revenue yearly, then the Ascension Model is not a great thing for you. If you're over that, then you've got different ways that you can use an Ascension Model-esque type deal to liquidate ad costs and things like that. But, the first thing you got to fix, you got to realize in your business, everything is sequential. You have to do one thing at a time. And if you're trying to liquidate ad spend before you can just get clients from paid traffic at all, then you're diluting your focus pretty hardcore. And Chris has a lot of experience with this, because when we synced up, I think the last product launch he did, what was 2.8 million?
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Or something like that. So it's not like we're just kind of floating in after reading a book on this stuff. We've actually built several Ascension models, but with our business, we aren't even using the Ascension Model, because the most important thing to do, rather than imagine going to a car dealership, Chris.
Yeah.
When you bought your minivan.
See, here's the thing. Taylor always makes fun of my minivan, but
Chris drives a minivan. I drive a Tesla. So yeah, there's a little bit of a difference.
But I have more money than Taylor, so if that matters.
Obviously, as you can tell. So imagine going to the dealership and you roll up and they won't sell you a car because you have to buy a keychain first. And you're like, what? I don't need a keychain. I need a car. They're like, well, we've just found that people who buy keychains are 70% more likely to buy the actual vehicle. You would leave that freaking dealership and go down the road and buy from them.
That's ridiculous.
And when it comes to working with clients, if you're an expert, what you're selling is the solution to a problem that your clients either don't know how to fix or deal with, or they don't want to fix or deal with. And when you try to sell them lower ticket, lower barrier stuff before you fix the main problem, it just is ruining the flow. And it's really not a good thing to show to your clients.
Yeah, when you have an Ascension Model, it's actually like a crutch, because what it's saying is that you're not really an expert. You don't really know your market. You don't really know the deepest pain, what they need to get fixed, which in turn means you don't know how to fix it, right? And so why it actually is going to cost you, it's going to cost you time. It's super complicated, because not only do you have to sell one thing, but you have to sell multiple things. And it's not necessarily easier to sell something for $100 or $1,000 as opposed to $7,000.
Yeah. So our thing, and we tell people all this all the time, is to skip straight to
right ticket.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is what I'm talking about.
I like that.
Skip to right ticket, bro. All right, sorry.
Yeah, because you hear like high ticket thrown around so much, and a lot of people I think feel like they're not qualified to sell high ticket, but it's not really necessarily about high ticket. It's about right ticket for you and where you're at in your business. So when we first launched Taylor, we sold our quote high ticket, our right ticket for what was like $3,000.
Yeah,
we validating, which we'll talk about later on how to do all that.
Yeah, and then we quickly raise. But we have to teach people this all the time because they're like, oh my gosh, nobody would ever spend $5,000 up front for what I'm doing. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
What are you doing for people? Like, I like to actually quantify what you're doing for people. And you've got, like, imagine it, sorry to go back to the car example again, but what if you went to a dealership to pick up a brand new BMW and it was like on sale for $8,000?
Yeah, you would think there was like something really wrong with it.
Yeah, what's broken? Like, has this thing been caught on fire or was it in a lake? You know? And they're thinking the same thing about you.
Yeah.
When you're undercharging and undervaluing.
Yeah.
And another thing, when it gets into paid traffic, because we run a lot of money through paid traffic every month, our numbers got to be near the top of the industry in terms of return on that investment. But the right ticket gives you this massive margin for error.
Yeah, which has really hit a nerve with the market, I think, because everybody out there is talking about, oh, you need to build out an info product. You need to have books. You need to have all these things, which again, it complicates, right? Because it adds more into your business, which is just hard to see through that. It's basically you're growing weeds in the garden. And it's hard to see through that to know what is working, what's not working, what's going to work. And so the point of getting from where you are to, let's say, $50,000 a month is extremely long. Like the runway is extremely long. And you probably feel like this, like you're on this runway, right? If you're in a plane and you feel like you've just been on this runway forever and you've actually never taken off. You've actually never launched. And so our processes and our methods are to launch extremely quickly. That's what we did in our own business with our story, which we'll get into later. And that's what we help our clients get to. So we just break all the complication off and just focus on simplicity and clarity. And it just gets people to market and to the revenue way quicker.
Yeah. And if you're listening and you're like, well, that's easy to get to $50,000 a month without having like a book or a massive blog or this or that. But what if I want to get to like 100? Well, just to put this in perspective for you, we do almost 10 times 50 grand a month every single month. And we still don't have a book. Like we're still just now putting things together that a quote big business should have. You kind of want to go back and like actually look at the roots of these companies that grow really, really quickly. You've got, Tesla and you've got different companies. They're just really scrappy. They move to market ridiculously quick and they always start by charging really high prices to validate, and then they can build out other items. The thing that you got to be careful for is like you can take the Ascension model and flip it upside down and it would work beautifully. You know? Because that's essentially what companies like Tesla are doing. And you start with something that is really, really expensive. You validate it, you get a few clients, and then you can reverse back down. And when we get to the episode about talking about the journey to seven-figure consultant, we're going to really talk about this in more detail about depending on where you are in your business, what should you sell now? How should you price it now to set your business up to scale up down the road? Yeah. Right. Just throwing that out there a little.
Yeah, that's going to be an awesome episode when we dive into that. But it really is about what that point you made, Taylor, of that margin of error. If you don't already have a big email list, if you don't already have a big following, which we don't, we didn't when we started. Most of our clients don't.
We had a pretty decent sized email list, like 113 people.
Yeah, it was like,
and half of them were like our family.
It was Taylor's mom and like 25 different email addresses she used.
That was awesome.
Yo, Taylor's mom is Taylor's biggest fan.
You just heard her. If you heard her feelings.
No, I love your mom. But if you follow him on Facebook, you'll see that. Like she's the first person to comment and like his posts.
Which we'll put our Facebook profiles in the show notes. Because especially me, I'm giving you guys a lot of stuff on Facebook. Chris is.
You definitely want to follow me if you want to be educate and entertain at the same time. No, but real quick, just this point of, guys, if you don't have all that stuff that all the gurus have, right? They're selling all these courses and stuff, but they have like massive email lists and massive followings. If you don't have that, then obviously your business is going to be different. So you've got to be able to acquire customer and client from paid traffic. And it's going to cost the same generally for you to acquire them if you sell a $500 like e-products, e-course, or a $10,000 program, right? The cost for you to acquire them is not going to be any different. So what our process is we like to start higher first. So your margin for error is way bigger, right? Yeah. And you can actually grow and actually make money and not lose money, which we'll dive into deeper. So
let me tell the story about how we discovered this real fast, and then we can get into what we're going to talk about in the next episode. And we also got a gift for you. So Chris and I just met. This is a couple years ago. I was doing freelance funnel development and building out copy and really building pretty intense marketing funnels. And I had gotten 2 clients. This is when I was a freelancer at this point. I was a freelancer and a consultant. So this is before we were the, big 7-figure business. This is when I was grassroots doing a couple $100,000 a year, and got a referral. The guy reached out to me, and I was charging like $2,500 a funnel, which seems ridiculous now, but it was a lot to me at the time. I was like, I'm busy. I don't really want to take this client. I don't have the time. So I was like, I'm just going to double my prices and see what happens. So I get ready to send the email. I'm just going to send it for $5,000. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm really busy. Like, I really don't want to take this client. So I'm just going to do $10,000 because there's no way he's going to pay me $10,000 to do this. There's just no way. So sent the email, 10K. And within 30 minutes, he PayPal'd me $10,000. Part of me was like, literally, I'm like, we're rich. And then the other part was like, crap, like I've got so many clients right now because I didn't really want the client. But that was the moment that I realized like I had been severely undercharging. And it started up here in my mind of not realizing that when you solve the right problem, people want to pay you the right amount of money. They want to pay you a lot because to them, they're equating value and quality with the amount of money it costs them. And so that's just kind of how we figure that out and have built it into our business. Make sense?
Totally. Yeah. So something that you kind of stumbled onto, and probably most people out there are way undercharging for their expertise. So we're going to get into that more in the next episode, which you guys have to tune into. It's going to help provide more clarity to you on this. So anything else you want to leave them with before we give them instructions on how to get the gift?
No, this next episode, we're going to tell you why the more things you do, the less money you make. And it's not a cliche. Chris and I have a method that we use pretty much every week to make sure we're not doing too much. We have a do not do list that we update regularly because simpler and less stuff produces more income and more momentum. So we'll kind of teach you how we do that. So it's going to be an awesome time.
Awesome. All right. So the gift, we have an awesome, cool little like client getting kit for you guys that we put together a bunch of things for you with this gift. So to get that, go leave a, what you call it?
Review
on iTunes.
Really sorry, guys.
Sorry, the bulletproof isn't kicking in yet. So it's kind of let me down. Yeah, leave a review. Give us your feedback. We want to know what you guys think about this, and we want to make it as best as we can for you guys. So go to trafficandfunnels.com/gift. Trafficandfunnels.com/gift. And that will be in the show notes below as well.
Awesome. You nailed it today, bro. It's a review. It's a good review.
Cool. I'm glad that your mom's proud of me too.
All right. See you guys next time.
See ya.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.